Hello folks, welcome to Lexi IAS Academy. In this video, we'll be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we will be looking into today? Narendra Modi US visit, MAGA plus MIGA becomes mega partnership for prosperity. Throughout the course of the video, we will see what those are. In this video, we'll be discussing as to why is it news, what is the relevance of it to your UPSC, that is your GS paper 2. We will also be seeing the key areas of interest and the discussions that took place between the first bilateral visit of your USA and India post your second term, that is during a second term of your US President Donald Trump. Look at this. In his remarks, Prime Minister Modi said cooperation between India and US can shape a better world. What exactly happened in the bilateral meeting? Initially, it all started out with warm exchange, pleasantries, etc., wherein people witnessed about each side, or the let's say, or Narendra Modi claiming what kind of special bond that US has with respect to India's interest, and US claiming what special bond that India has. For example, he goes on to claim that two largest and two oldest democracies. So something of this sort, where all good amount of pleasantries were exchanged. Then they spoke about the sale of F-35 fighter jets, stealth fighter jets from US to India. They discussed on various issues with respect to energy, critical technologies, connectivity. They also discussed about your Russia-Ukraine conflict, and then they also addressed the elephant in the room, tariffs. So these are all just the tidbits as to yes, what can we expect from the bilateral meeting? Like expected, all of these were discussed. The very first before meeting, this was a 2-day visit for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This was an official visit which was taken from your US President Donald Trump, invited Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi first met with your US Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, congratulated her on gaining that position, and also look at the tweet here. Met US's Director in National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard in Washington, congratulated on her affirmation. Discussed various topics on your India USA confirmation, friendship, yes, all of these. So all the pleasantries were done. Then he also met with your Doge. Your US has created a separate department called as Doge, your Department of Government Efficiency, which is headed by your Elon Musk and was also headed by your Vivek Ramaswamy. Wherein when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Elon Musk with his 3 kids, he also gave them small gifts. See, these are just small gestures. Look at this. What was the gift that he gave? Was there were 3 children. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gifted them 3 books. What those were? Those were The Crescent Moon by your Rabindranath Tagore, The Great R.K. Narayan Collections, and Panchatantra Tales by your Vishnu Sharma. The kids did happen to open and start reading the books. So this was one of a nice gestures. Then your Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met with another head of your Doge, that is Department of Government Efficiency, that is Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy has also held it was a pleasure to host Prime Minister Narendra Modi. While discussing with Elon Musk, your Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated and emphasized on innovation, technology, space, and most importantly, like I said, he is the head of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. At the same point of time, we also discussed on minimum government and maximum governance. One of the key principles that our governance is trying to achieve in India. So this was an apt thing to be discussing that about. And then we will also start with what were the aspects that they discussed. The main things were, first, your US President Donald Trump has agreed for the extradition of Tawa Rana, who was one of the accused of Mumbai 26/11 terror attacks. The US President Donald Trump has held that he is handing over a very violent, evil man who has to face justice for what he has did, and he has also went ahead to claim that USA alongside India, and he has also lauded India in trying to fight radical Islamic terrorism together, in the words of your Donald Trump. And so this is one of the key things that is coming out, wherein Tawarana will be now extradited to India and logistics will be developed by your Indian side, where he will face the crime charges for 2611 attacks in India. To speak was Narendra Modi also greatly emphasized in Washington's role or USA's role in trying to bring up a peace between Ukraine and Russia. Modi also went ahead to tell that, yes, see, most people in the country are assuming, that is, most people or most countries in the world are assuming that India is taking a neutral side with respect to the Russia Ukraine conflict, but no, we are on the side of peace. And he also mentioned that, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, also mentioned that while my talks with Putin, I have also held that this is not an era of war. At the same point of time, he has also mentioned that he has directly met the head of states for both your Russia and Ukraine, and he tells that if at all a solution will be found for Russia Ukraine conflict, it will never be in battleground, but in negotiation table. This is the only place where we can find a solution, is what he has held. So Russia-Ukraine conflict was also discussed. Another thing was, your Donald Trump has held that USA will now agree to sell the F-35s, F-35 stealth fighter jet to India. This is state-of-the-art technology. Your F-35s also was seen in our Aero India show of 2025. So this is one another major boost with regard to your defense. Another thing is, Trump and Modi avoided discussing your minority rights in the meeting, human rights issues, wherein India is now seen as a counterweight to China to balance off in your US and China trade war. So to a large extent, to keeping both of their interests in mind, this issue was not discussed. Another thing mainly that drew headlines was MAGA plus MIGA. You know what MAGA is? The Trump was centered around this slogan, that is Make America Great Again. Now Modi also highlighted that we also have something with regard to the same lines on Make America Great Again with respect to USA. Means with India we also have something called as Viksit Bharat by 2047, or on the similar lines of MAGA, we call it MIGA, which means Make India Great Again. He said when this combines with this, when MIGA combines with MAGA, then there would be a mega partnership for prosperity. Both USA and India will lead the world towards better development, or will lead the place, or will lead the world into a better place. Then your Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with Donald Trump, wherein he has claimed that the meeting was very substantive and they've discussed on wide range of issues. Yes, what did they discuss? First and foremost, with respect to the present issue at hand, wherein it is about US policy, or more specifically, Donald Trump has started with the illegal migrants. He has taken a hit on that. He is trying to weed out the illegal migrants, is what he has told. For which Narendra Modi has held that, yes, if they are proved and verified they are Indians and they are illegally living in USA, then we are ready to take back those people, is what your India has reiterated. On the same lines, Shashi Tharoor has also claimed that, is this a good move, but one thing they should have discussed is about how they are handling in moving these illegal migrants. In one of the videos Legacy IAS Academy has did, you can see that video where people are chained, their hands are chained, legs are chained, and they are deported back. So that kind of inhumane treatment should not be done. That also should be discussed, is what they speak. But in the meeting, nothing came out of that. Another thing is your Quad Leaders Summit. India has formally invited US President Donald Trump for the Quad Leader Summit, where India will be hosting. What is Quad? The member countries such as your India, Australia, USA, and Japan. All these four are your Quad. This is one of the big counterweight to your China's growing influence. Another area of interest or another area of discussion was in your trade and investment, where they have come up with a statement of Mission 500, wherein they will double the bilateral trade and take the trade capacity by 2030 to 500 billion. Yes, this is there. At the same point of time, we also have to worry about one main thing, that is your tariffs that is threatened by Narendra Modi, that is the tariffs which is threatened by your Donald Trump. Yes, this is also there, but at the same point of time, this also is there. Then one way that we can try to navigate the situation is first and foremost mutually address the trade barriers and try to sort out an issue and come up with a big trade deal that would benefit both the countries. And also another main thing is your Indian side has claimed that Indian investments in US also should be considered and given due advantage, because Indian companies in USA have invested around $7 billion and also provide 3,000 high quality jobs for your local families. This is with respect to your trade and investment front. With regard to energy sector, they decided that, and more specifically, your Donald Trump, US President, has held that it will support India on its bid to permanent seat in International Energy Agency, and also your US and India's partnership on security, oil, gas, civil nuclear energy is on the same lines with a reinvigorated growth. They are also telling they have to put on full focus and gain huge momentum on this 123 deal, or in US India nuclear civil deal in your 2008 2010 when it started. It initially had so much momentum, but eventually it withered away. They're telling now we have to revisit it with more revamped attitude. And then another main thing they discussed regarding your energy sector is your India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor, which your Donald Trump claims is one of the greatest corridor that will be ever made, because Belt and Road Initiative, and also the first stage will be in connecting Israel to Italy and then towards your USA, wherein the main plan of this your India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor is India will be connected to your Middle East and then to your Europe, and then eventually US will come into the plan. There are multiple facets in this. This was first coming in, or this started taking momentum in your 2023 G20 summit. There are multiple facets to this particular corridor. See, look at this. Like I said, India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, Greece, eventually your USA. But one main thing that they also try to come or try to gain from this is they are thinking, at least in one way, the connection between Saudi Arabia and Israel will to an extent normalize the relations between your Saudi Arabia and Israel. This is also one of the facets of this corridor. Next, speaking with regard to Donald Trump, while speaking with regard to your Narendra Modi, he has even claimed that he is a much tough negotiator than him, and also went ahead. He has also gifted Narendra Modi with a gift of a book signed by President Donald Trump, which says, "Mr. Prime Minister, you are great." The book that we are speaking about is Our Journey Together. So these were all the pleasantries that were exchanged from both of them. Like we discussed, Shashi Tharoor also has claimed the same thing. Yes, everything is good as of now, but the only thing is the way how the illegal migrants are handed over or deported. And the thing is, the main issue, elephant in the room, reciprocal tariffs, where Narendra notice as to how do you think your US president was towards India. They said comparatively US president was softer towards India because he felt that these people are not the only ones who are affecting the US economy, but at the same point of time, Washington will come for New Delhi with reciprocal tariffs if it hurts US interests. This was also told that. So they also, the one way we can go through with this is they are telling that a major trade deal should come between your India and USA. According to your World Trade Organization, if at all a trade deal has to happen between a developing country and a developed country, first and foremost they have to take into account as to which are the areas or which are the items or which of them form their exports. They should discuss. If it's in major scale, they have to first see only the items which are exported, and if it's on a minor scale or if it is just a mere roadmap, then they should agree for some free trade agreement sort of things. So keeping all this in mind, a major trade deal should come into way, and also a two-way commerce which will benefit both members should come into place so as to avoid the reciprocal tariffs. And one more thing is, yes, your first term of Donald Trump saw that yes, your USA was against your China, and then the trade war continued. In this, one of the person or one of the countries that stood to your USA as a source was your India. What continued in the first term will now continue the same in the second term also, but alongside your reciprocal tariffs. Wherein he also said that India will buy more of oil, gas, military hardware from America to bring down the trade deficit, but it is also that we will come to New Delhi with reciprocal tariffs if at all it is hurting US economy. And that means, we'll say, let's example, if India charges import duties for pistachios of 35%, then US is telling we will also put the same amount on its products. Asia initiative, wherein they are developing on autonomous system industry alliance. This is the first time that your USA military is entering into work with another country like India, especially on a key sensitive areas, wherein they will try to harness the underwater domain awareness technology. This is the very first time that your USA military is trying to engage with any country for that matter, and this is the first, and that first country is India. So this is one of the major things that is coming out. This is a good initiative. Another thing is your compact, USA India compact, otherwise called as catalyzing opportunities for military partnership, accelerated commerce and technology for 21st century, wherein they are looking for doubling the trade between your USA and India, and by 2030 reaching to your 500 billion. The one hurdle that we have to consider is also your reciprocal tariffs. Coming to your technology, they discussed widely with regard to your technology, AI, space, your trust initiative, wherein they are trying to accelerate the AI infrastructure in India. So this is the initiative from both your USA and India side to bring in and bolster your AI or artificial intelligence. With regard to innovation, already your India and USA have something called as Index X. Now, this Index X is more of your defense platform or defense partnership between your India and USA. Now, they're trying to bring in such as Index Innovation, which is for your academic and industry developments between both your India and USA. So, this is also a very holistic approach with regard to your innovation. Next is with respect to your India civil space cooperation, where they have started Axiom, in which they have held that India, that is your ISRO, NASA, these organizations will come together and put an Indian astronaut in International Space Station. So that is your Axiom. This is previously we also have NISAR, that is your NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar, wherein your Earth observation satellites will now be able to map the landmass. Look at this, will now be able to map the landmass in 2D and 3D forms by using dual frequencies. So this is NISAR, which is already currently in operation between your NASA and ISRO. On the same lines, we also think about getting your Axiom. One thing your common One common thing that your experts are telling is the reciprocal tariffs by US may not hurt India. For example, let's take the same pistachio scenario. India will now say let's put 50% trade tariffs are put on India, that is on imports of pistachio. Now, if they are putting 50% tariffs for your USA, USA will also put the same 50% tariffs. But one thing is, India doesn't export pistachios of that large extent to USA where it will hurt our economy. So, in that manner, your experts are thinking, yes, this reciprocal tariffs may not hurt India that much, but again, it doesn't take chances or anything. So, on the whole, your US India bilateral visit, this is the summation where both of the sides have claimed that it was a substantive visit where a lot of key important sectors were discussed. We've reached the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it along with friends. Thank you.